7 kg wrestling event. Aman is the youngest male wrestler at the Paris Olympics and won India's 6th medal overall and 5th bronze medal at the Olympics. My colleague Rika spoke to Aman as well, where he details how he had lost a lot of weight overnight for making weight.
अमन, बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद मेडल के लिए। एक बार मेडल आप सबको दिखा दीजिए, क्योंकि इंडिया में सब आपका मेडल देखना चाहेंगे। ये अमन शेरावत का मेडल है, ब्रॉन्ज मेडल, एंड दिस इज़ द 6th मेडल फ्रॉम द पेरिस ओलंपिक गेम्स इन फ्रॉम छत्रसाल स्टेडियम। अमन, सबसे पहले तो ये बताइए कि क्या मानसिकता लेकर आप आए हुए थे? आप 21 साल के हैं, सबसे यंगेस्ट इंडिया के ओलंपिक मेडलिस्ट हैं, क्या मानसिकता लेके आए हुए थे?
यही लेके आए थे भाई, ओलंपिक में मेडल जीतना सोच के तो गोल्ड किया थे, पर जो अच्छा होगा मतलब आगे अभी जो ये कमी रही है अभी अगले ओलंपिक में जो 28 में नहीं रही, पहले से पूरी तैयारी करके आएंगे।
मतलब इसने आपकी हंगर को और बढ़ा दिया है?
हाँ, मतलब सभी ऐसे कहते थे भाई अभी इस ओलंपिक से अच्छा तो कुछ 28 में मिलेगा, फिर मैं इस ओलंपिक में मेडल दूंगा, तो फिर मतलब वे कह रहे थे भाई 28 में, तो 28 में अच्छा रख करेंगे।
अच्छा अमन, एक चीज़ बताओ, कल बाउट के बाद आज भी आपका बाउट होना था और इस बीच वेट काफ़ी इंक्रीज हो गया था, क्या किया आपने पूरे रात? अपने वेट घटाने के लिए भी कुछ किए है?
कुछ नहीं थी, बहुत कुछ के मतलब पहले तो बाउट खत्म हुई, फिर 2 घंटे प्रैक्टिस करी, ख़त्म होते ही यहीं फिर जाके 1 बजे वहाँ पर जिम में करी विलेज में, 3 बजे जाके कहीं वजन आया, फिर नींद तो आए नहीं आई, फिर तो मतलब वजन ही दिया। मेन टारगेट तो ऐसा था भाई वजन लाना है बस।
ब्रॉन्ज मेडल बाउट से पहले आप सोए? बिल्कुल नहीं
सोए तो जी 8-9 तारीख को तो कभी 1 मिनट भी नींद नहीं आई है, कुश्ती की चली हुई थी एकदम, मतलब सोने की कोशिश करे जब भी भाई कुश्ती में क्या रहा कैसा क्या होगा।
अच्छा, एक आखिरी सवाल कि आप बहुत छोटे से छत्रसाल स्टेडियम में हो, आपके माँ बाप होंगे, लेकिन कोई फैमिली मेम्बर अभी याद आ रहे हैं, किसी को आप ये मेडल डेडिकेट करना चाहते हो, दिखाना चाहते हो घर वापस जाके?
करना तो गुरु जी और मेरे सागर भाई हैं जो मुझे स्टेडियम में संभालते हैं, तो उन्हीं को दिखाना चाहता हूँ मैं, ये मैंने जीत लिया, ये आपकी मेहनत जो थी।
आपके लिए हम सब बहुत बहुत प्राउड है और वाकई में वो भी बहुत प्राउड होंगे। थैंक यू वेरी मच। Friday marked another great day for India at the Paris Olympic Games, with wrestler Aman Sherawat winning India a bronze medal in wrestling 57 kilogram category. He had in fact qualified in the category of Tokyo Olympic silver medalist Ravi Daya by beating Ravi in the trials. He considers Ravi as one of his gurus along with Sushil Kumar. This is also the 8th medal for the Chhatrasal Stadium, the school of Chhatrasal, that has produced several great wrestlers in the past. This also is a good moment for the sport of wrestling that has gone through a fair bit of controversy in the last 1 year, though it is a sport that has given India a medal in each game since the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games, and a lot was expected of wrestling. Aman Sherawat, in fact, with his medal opens the door for other wrestlers to win medals as well. After Vinesh Phogat's disqualification, there was a fair bit of disappointment in the team, but this medal would turn it around. So far as the match is concerned, it was against Puerto Rico's Darian Cruz, and he was able to take the wrestler down 13-5. He went in with an aggressive approach, and that defines Aman Sherawat, his aggressive approach at 21 that led him to the Paris podium.
We'll bring you more on these stories. For now, a short break.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health.
PM Modi is set to visit landslide hit Wayanad today. He will review the relief efforts. He'll also visit the Bailey Bridge built by the army. Government says there is no concept of a creamy layer in SC/ST quota, disagrees with Supreme Court's assertion. Wrestler Aman Sehrawat skips history, wins the 5th bronze medal for India at the Paris Olympics. Aman Sehrawat tells us how he reduced 1.5 kgs overnight. Sheikh Hasina's son speaks exclusively to NDTV, hints at joining active politics, says he will do whatever it takes and that he is already the de facto leader of Awami League. Passenger plane crashes in Brazil's Sao Paulo, killing all 62 people on board. Brazilian president expresses solidarity with victims' families. A few members of the Indian men's hockey team returned to India. They were received with a warm welcome at the Delhi airport. Now, some of the members of the Indian men's hockey team returned to India after their big win. The players received a grand welcome at the airport. The Indian men's hockey team defeated Spain 2-1 to clinch the bronze medal at the Paris Olympics 2024 on Thursday. Remember, the remaining team members are expected to return after the closing ceremony as well. The members that have returned to India will be heading to their hotel shortly after they leave the airport. These are visuals coming in of the hockey team members. They've just exited the airport. They've received a grand welcome there, as you can see, as some of the members of the Indian hockey team have been received by their fans, families, supporters as well. They are heading to their hotel now in New Delhi is what we're learning. These are visuals coming in right after the Indian hockey team members have returned to India. Remember, some of the key players and main players of the team will be returning to India after the closing ceremony of the Paris Olympics. This of course comes after the Indian men's hockey team's big win at the Paris Olympics. They clinched bronze medal after they defeated Spain 2-1 at Paris. Right. This, of course, comes as a big win for the Indian hockey team as well as the Indian contingent at the Paris Olympics. Remember, India is at 6 medals at the Paris Olympics. The hockey team, of course, bringing laurels for India at the Olympics, having won the bronze medal, defeating Spain 2-1. It was quite a game that was played at that time in Paris between the Indian hockey team and the Spanish hockey team. Some of the members now have returned home. We will get you more details on what they're saying in terms of how they feel after having returned home after a big win. These, of course, visuals coming in. As you can see, some of the players exiting the airport. They've received a very warm welcome by their supporters, their friends, their families, their coaches. They're celebrating their return, celebrating their win as well. Remember, the other players or the remaining players will be returning after the closing ceremony is what we're learning. So just a few of the players have returned today. We'll bring you more details on who are the players that have returned. As of now, as you can see, they're being welcomed by their family members, by their supporters, their fans as well. Some of the members, of course, have returned today. They're going to be heading all right, this is the captain of the Indian men's hockey team who has returned along with some other players as well. Harmanpreet, the captain there, having returned. The players are going to be heading to their hotel shortly, just as they've exited the airport. They're going to be heading towards the bus and then heading for the hotel. We will bring you more on how they are feeling if my colleagues there on the ground get an opportunity to speak to them. My colleague Ghazali joins us. He's at the airport at this point. Ghazali, we're getting in visuals of the players having exited the airport. They're receiving a very warm welcome. A lot of music and joy at the background as well, celebrating their medal.
See, you can see the typical Punjabi celebration here. The crowd has gathered, team support staff and also officials from the ministry are here. You can see these young boys who have won a smart medal after almost 4 decades that India has won medal in the hockey in the Olympics. And right now, the scene is very ecstatic here. The people have already gathered outside the arrival of the T3 of Indira Gandhi International Airport, and there are fans who have also gathered with pictures, with posters of these hockey players who are literally heroes for getting a hero's welcome today. And after what we saw in other category with what happened with Vinesh Phogat, and immediately after that, this victory in the Olympics is certainly was a big morale booster for the country, for the sportsmen. And now you see the Indian hockey captain Harmanpreet Singh is coming towards the frame, and he will be addressing the media.
And what you're seeing over here is the scene of jubilation as our heroes, the Indian hockey team, have now arrived. Now they're being led by our captain Harmanpreet Singh, and you can see that with the heroes arriving, there is a lot of jubilation. There is a lot of enthusiasm because yes, after winning 2 successive bronze. भाई पीछे लेके जाओ यार, किसी का भी नहीं आएगा.
बिल्कुल, आई थिंक मेडल होता है और देश के लिए मेडल लेके आना सबसे बड़ी बात है. जो हमारी कोशिश थी कि हम फाइनल तक जाएं और गोल्ड मेडल जीतें, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो हमारा सपना पूरा नहीं हुआ. बट हम खाली हाथ वापस नहीं आए एंड बैक टू बैक ब्रॉन्ज मेडल जीतना ये भी हिस्ट्री है हॉकी के लिए, और आई थिंक बहुत प्राउड है हम. किसको डेडिकेट करेंगे ये मेडल? ये पूरे इंडिया को करेंगे कि जितना आप लोगों ने सबने प्यार दिया है हमें, वो हमारे लिए बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, और ये स्पोर्ट आपकी हमेशा हमारे साथ रहे, यही उम्मीद करते हैं. आई थिंक काफ़ी इमोशनल मोमेंट था उनके लिए भी, और क्योंकि इतना समय उन्होंने जो हॉकी को दिया है, टीम को दिया है, आई थिंक वो बहुत बड़ी बात है. एंड लास्ट मैच खेलना और मेडल के साथ फिनिश करना, इससे बड़ी बात उनके लिए भी कोई नहीं है. तो हमारा यही था कि उन जो वो जा रहे हैं तो उनको अच्छे से भेजें, मेडल के साथ भेजें, और हम बहुत खुश हैं उनके लिए. बट ऑफ कोर्स अभी वो रिटायरमेंट दे चुके हैं, बट वो हमेशा हमारे साथ रहेंगे, नो डाउट.
दी गई भी आपकी तारीफ की, इस पर आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे जो टैग नाम दिया गया?
नहीं, बिल्कुल सर. आई थिंक जो सपोर्ट मिल रही है स्पोर्ट्स को और सभी गेम्स को, आई थिंक वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. रियली वांट टू थैंक गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, हमारे साई बेंगलोर, और आई थिंक साई के एंड जो हमारी उड़ीसा गवर्नमेंट है एंड हमारी हॉकी इंडिया. आई थिंक इनकी बहुत बड़ी सपोर्ट है हमें, और एज ए प्लेयर सबको यही होता है कि आपको सब सपोर्ट मिले, जो आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट हो आपकी पूरी हो. तो आई थिंक वो हमें मिली है, और आई रियली वांट टू थैंक.
लास्ट लगातार इंडियन हॉकी टीम ने ओलंपिक्स में जीता है, क्या कहेंगे? लास्ट क्वेश्चन.
बहुत खुश हैं और बहुत प्राउड हैं, क्योंकि हॉकी के लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है, और जितना प्यार अब मिल रहा है हॉकी को, और ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हमारी डबल करता है, और हम भी कोशिश करेंगे कि जब भी मैदान में जाएं और देश के लिए मेडल लेके आएं.
थैंक यू.
Right, the captain there speaking about the big win. He says a medal is a medal no matter if it is bronze, silver or gold. Also saying that hockey has been loved and has been given a lot of love by the people and by sports enthusiasts, thereby bringing in more responsibility for the team. My colleague Ghazali is still with us. Ghazali, the team, they're ecstatic on their win and, you know, having added another feather to India's cap at the Olympics.
Yeah, certainly, and this will give a kind of boost to the sports, hockey as a sports, because we had only seen this happening in Odisha, or the Odisha Chief Minister promoting hockey, but this kind of performance certainly inspires youth in rural areas, and we will see that this will also kind of improvise the infrastructure for sports across the country, not just limited to one sport, that is cricket. And we know, and you can see the fans had come over here over the rooftop on the departure area of the in the Gandhi International Airport, and tight security here, and now the team is moving. team. I'll ask my camera person to show you that the team will now be moving to either Dhyanchand Stadium here or towards one of the hotels in central Delhi for further interaction. So a big win for India, and now it's certainly the captain himself was saying that bronze is it's also a medal, and we are not quantifying it whether it's a gold or bronze or silver medal. So kind of a statement which will inspire youth, which will also give much impetus to this sports, because every time we see that whenever there is a kind of this kind of performance or a global event like Olympics or World Cup, then only the focus shifts to such sports. And now through visuals we'll show you, this is the bus through which the hockey team members are now departing from the Indira Gandhi International Airport.
Joining us and bringing us those details. Let me, in fact, head on to my colleague Tanushka there. She's outside a hotel where the hockey team is expected to arrive. Tanushka, now the hockey team having just left the airport, what are the preparations made at the hotel? We're learning that they might be heading towards either Dhyanchand Stadium or the hotel as well. We've just heard captain speak as well. Talking about how winning a medal for the country itself is a big deal, and it should not be quantified with it being gold, silver or bronze.
Right, exactly. The hockey team has a touchdown at the home ground. This is their home turf. They're back home from the Paris Olympics, and of course the men in blue have won the bronze medal for the country. And this not just for the country, but it's a big deal for the sport as well. The game of hockey. They are expected to head out to either Dhyanchand Stadium or at the hotel where I am currently. So we're currently expecting, of course, the winning team to come back. This has been a big victory for the men's hockey team, as this was the second consecutive Olympic medal that India has gotten, and this is an accomplishment that was last achieved 52 years ago. So India beat Spain by 2-1. That was the scorecard, and of course, it's a big deal today for the country, as well as the captain also spoke. He said that, whatever the medal may be, a medal is a medal, and bronze, silver or gold, it is a huge push for not just hockey, but for aspiring hockey athletes and players as well in the future too. So this does set a precedent in record for hockey as, being the national sport as well. And we are yet to, get the arrival of the entire team here, of course. And this was also a major achievement as well for the goalkeeper P.R. Shrijesh, as this was his last game before he announced his retirement. So these are the spirits right now. The spirits are definitely high with the expectation of the arrival of the hockey team here as well.
Right, Tanushka, like you mentioned, we also heard the captain pay tribute to Shrijit, and he also in fact said that the game hockey has been receiving a lot of love from people. It's come a long way, and that has also in some way contributed to this Olympic win.
Right, yes, exactly. And that's the main thing, that, this match was especially significant as it served as the farewell game for the legendary Indian goalkeeper P.R. Shrijesh for the Indian hockey team. And it sets into record, it sets into pace also for more conversation around hockey as well. We've, as it is, have had like great hockey players. The Indian team has shown like splendid performance at the Olympics. And this win, this bronze medal, is definitely going to be a major push for the team as well, and for further developments in the hockey arena in the country as well. Like my colleague Ghazali also earlier mentioned that it was only majorly talked about in the state of Odisha, but right now with the country, with these men in blue winning back the bronze medal at an international platform, the Paris Olympics at the Summer Games, and bringing back the bronze medal, is a huge factor that will be in play for the game, not just for national, like India nationwide, but also internationally.
Right. Thank you, Tanushka, for joining us and bringing us those details. We have some news coming in from Mumbai on the BMW hit-and-run case in Worli. The forensics report of the key accused Mihir Shah has come out. The report says there was no alcohol found in the blood sample and that the blood reports test negative for alcohol. This is the latest information that we're bringing in. Remember the Worli hit-and-run case which took place in Mumbai, which killed a woman and injured her husband as well. Who were on a two-wheeler. Mihir Shah, who is said to have ties with the Shiv Sena, was the prime accused in this particular case, was driving the car. The forensics report has come out now, and it in fact states that there was no alcohol found in the blood sample of Mihir Shah. Remember, there was an entire sequence of events that took place after the hit-and-run case, where Mihir Shah was absconding for a while. He was his whereabouts were unknown. Post which he was arrested for the hit-and-run case. My colleague Paras joins us with the latest update. Paras, now the forensics report saying that there's no blood alcohol that was found in Mihir Shah's sample.
Right, so the forensic report was sent to the forensic expert after the arrest of Mihir Shah in this entire case, but Mihir Shah was absconding after the incident happened in Worli, where a 45-year lady was dead because of the accident which happened on Worli area in Mumbai. So in this entire matter, this is a very important update. It has came into light that in forensic report, there is no trace of alcohol which has been found in the forensic report. But during the investigation, Mumbai police and Worli police found some of the beer can which was used to consumption of alcohol by Mihir Shah and his driver. There are many points which has been also proven by the police in this entire matter, but it will be now a very important task for Mumbai police also to prove that what has actually happened over there. But in the forensic report, it has came into light there was no alcohol consumed by the accused Mihir Shah. But in this matter also, one thing is very important, because Mihir Shah was arrested after 3 days, and in normal circumstances, this urine and blood test has to be done in 24 hours to see that there is there is alcohol in blood or urine. So this is a little different thing which has happened in this entire case. But the important update in this entire matter is that there is no trace found in blood report of Mihir Shah for now.
Right, Paras, thank you for joining us and bringing us those details. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit the landslide hit Wayanad today to review the relief and rehabilitation efforts and interact with survivors as well. Officials say that the Prime Minister will reach Kannur at around 11 a.m. and then undertake an aerial survey of the landslides affected area in Wayanad. Meanwhile, the opposition has been demanding that the Wayanad calamity be declared a national disaster. However, remember, there is no provision for the centre to make such a declaration. The decision seems to be lying with the state government. But leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi posted on social media platform X saying that the Prime Minister's decision to visit Wayanad is a good one, and that post his visit, Rahul is confident that the Prime Minister will declare it a national disaster. This statement from the leader of opposition, of course, comes at a time when the opposition has been backing declaring the Wayanad calamity a national disaster. Remember, the Wayanad landslides claimed millions of lives. Claimed hundreds of lives. At the same time, has also destroyed millions of homes and livelihoods as well. We are bringing together a campaign called Care for Kerala as well. You can donate for the cause of helping those people who've lost their loved ones, their livelihoods, their homes, by donating to this particular trust, and with the details of which are on your screens. We'll continue flashing this for your benefit. We will bring you more details on the Prime Minister's visit. The Prime Minister will be taking an aerial survey of the entire region that has been affected by the landslides. Not just that, the Prime Minister will also be visiting the bridge that was built by the army. Remember, the army had built a Bailey Bridge at record time, which helped transfer heavy machinery and aided in speeding the relief process as well. My colleague Pratibha joins us with more details. Pratibha, take us through the latest. The Prime Minister is set to visit. At the same time, the opposition demanding that the calamity be declared a national disaster.
Actually, it is more than a week since the Wayanad landslide took place, and it is high time that the Prime Minister also takes stock of the situation. Of course, he had earlier had asked two of the ministers, union ministers, who did come and visit the spot. One was Mr. George Kurian and the other was Mr. Suresh Gopi. And now Prime Minister Modi has decided to come personally to take stock of the situation, because we are talking of landslides that devastated the region of Wayanad, with the death toll crossing the 400 mark, and several of them still stranded there. And excuse me for this.
Right. Thank you, Pratibha, for joining us and bringing us those details. Now, to help the displaced people and assist in rehabilitation efforts, NDTV has started the Care for Kerala campaign, as I had mentioned earlier. Actor Shreya Saran as well has joined the campaign. Listen into her message.
Hi, I'm Shreya Saran. Kerala's Wayanad area is hit by devastating landslides, resulting in loss of lives and livelihood. Kerala needs your help right now. Let's join NDTV initiative. Come, donate. Let's rebuild Wayanad.
We'll bring you more in these stories. For now, a short break.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Get the magic of the best working for you now.
Link your payment cards once, collect rewards forever.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party,
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future,
Welcome to the NDTV Auto Show. I am your host Mugdha Mishra. We have got a very exciting show for you. Let's take a look. We get you the detailed review of Citroen Basalt. Is Yezdi Adventure better ready for competition? Interview with Shailesh Chandra. Mercedes AMG GLC 43 debut. French brand Citroen has got tepid response in Indian market. Now they're launching their fifth product, Citroen Basalt, Will Basalt change their fortunes in India? Dhruvatri finds out.
Up until now, a mainstream car buyer had the option of choosing either from a hatchback, a sedan, or if they're feeling too fancy, maybe an SUV. But add another category to it, the coupe SUV. And this is the first entrant in that segment. It's the French Assault and it's called the Citroen Basalt. We'll tell you all about it today. Now, the Citroen Basalt is based on the same platform as the C3 Aircross, and in terms of dimension, it's quite similar to 4.3 meter long, 2651 mm of wheelbase, and you get a proper SUV like 180 mm of ground clearance to clear all those potholes. In terms of design, it's a proper French quirky vehicle. You get that chevron logo in front, and then you get piano black finish with chrome strips all around. You get LED DRLs which are cross-shaped. Then you get LED projector headlamps, and the air dams, they are quite similar to the C3 Aircross, but with the addition of blacked out elements and chrome bits. Apart from that, the fog lamp design and the bumper design is very similar to the C3 Aircross. Turn to the side and things get a little more interesting because you get that sloping roofline which gives it that coupe stance, and there's a proper kink in the C-pillar. Apart from that, there's 16-inch alloy wheels which are machine finished, and you get SUV-like elements such as these squared off wheel arches, and there is body cladding to give it that SUV stance apart from that proper ground clearance. And in that likable design, there's one thing that sticks out like a sore thumb, and it gets a thumbs down from us in terms of design, and that is the flap type door handles. This should have had pull type door handles. At the rear, you get 3D LED tail lamps which extend to the side of the car as well. Then you get chevron logo, Basalt badging, and that proper sloping roofline with a little lip spoiler. You get 470 liters of boot space, and since it's a coupe, you get that lift back type of boot opening, so stuffing big bags will be easy. Apart from that, you get a 15-inch spare wheel which is a space saver from Seat. Step into the cabin, you get a 10.2-inch freestanding touchscreen with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and the touchscreen is more or less similar to the one you see in the C3 Aircross, and it's quite usable too. Then there's a 7-inch digital driver display, but the new addition is the automatic climate control, so the overall dashboard layout looks a lot more premium and feels a lot more plush than the one you see on the C3 Aircross. The seats are quite comfortable, and you get proper cushioning that you expect from Citroen. You get a foldable armrest which can be adjusted for fore and aft movement, making your drives much more easier. In terms of features, it misses out on keyless entry and go. Although you get a foldable flip key, you still miss out on keyless entry and push button start stop. Apart from that, your favorite feature, sunroof, is also missing from this car. Now, since this car has a sloping rear roofline, will it have decent enough headroom for you? Well, the answer is yes. 6 feet tall passengers, you won't feel any lack of headroom. And apart from that, the wheelbase, it's even better than a car like Hyundai Creta or Kia Seltos. So you get 2651 mm of wheelbase, and that is quite evident in the way you sit. There's acres of knee room, but the party trick on the rear seat is that you get 3-step adjustable thigh support. So those long journeys are going to be very comfortable. And this is something that we haven't seen in any other mass market car. And another trick in its kitty is that you get lateral support on the headrest on the rear seat. However, you don't get any adjustable headrest for the central passenger. Also, these seats are missing out on weight sensors, so you will have to keep your seat belts buckled in case there's no one sitting on the rear seats, because there will be incessant seat belt reminder beeping. In terms of equipment on the rear seat, you get rear AC vents, 2 Type A sockets, foldable armrest with 2 cup holders and a phone holder, and decent enough door pockets to hold 1-liter bottles. Now comes the most important part. Citroen promises that it has used more advanced high-strength steel in its construction, thereby giving it better rigidity in terms of crashes. Apart from that, you get 6 airbags as standard. Then there is TPMS and traction control system as well. Now before we conclude this with our verdict, let's go in for a quick spin with this car. When you sit on the driver's seat in the Citroen Basalt, you are perched as high as a mid-size SUV. So you get a good commanding view of the road, and you can also see the ends of the bonnet. So it will be easy to gauge this car when you're driving it in tight spaces. The 1.2-liter turbo petrol engine, it's a little rough on the edges when you're idling, but once you start driving, those vibes smoothen out. And of course, there's more than 200 Nm of torque, and this engine, it feels quite relentless, although the power delivery is quite linear, so you won't be taken aback when you press your foot down on the throttle. So trying to overtake slow moving traffic when you're fully loaded with the full house is not going to be a task with the Citroen Basalt. I'm driving the 6-speed torque converter automatic, and the gear shifts are slightly slow in changing. There is half a second delay, but it's not so bad unless you're trying to set any lap times, which I'm sure you wouldn't with a car with these kind of dynamic capabilities. But overall, it's a smooth shifting unit, so it will be decent enough for most of your driving needs. The ride is quite supple, and it rounds off almost all the broken edges on the road, and all those small pimples, you won't feel them. And of course, these seats are quite nice and comfy too, so traveling long distances and on the highway, this engine, gearbox and this suspension setup is a good combination. Now the steering is quite light when you are going to drive it in the city, and it weighs decently when you are at cruising speeds, so delivers that much more confidence. And when you are going out in the corners, the handling is nice and neutral, so taking it to a ghat section or to the mountains shouldn't pose much of a problem. As for the fuel efficiency, this engine with the automatic paired gives out 18.7 kilometers per liter of fuel economy, and if you get the manual one, that is the more efficient unit. It gives 19.5 kmpl of claimed fuel efficiency, and the 1.2 naturally aspirated, that's only available with a manual, and that will offer you 18 kilometers per liter of fuel economy. And these are obviously claimed numbers. The real world numbers might be in the ballpark of 12 to 14 kilometers per liter. The French have always had a keen eye for design and detail, and that's what this car also plays on. The Citroen Basalt, it has a lot going for it. It has a unique design. It's of course the first coupe SUV that has been unveiled, and bookings are now open. There will be Tata Curvv as a competition to it, but this is quite a unique flavor in the market.
But of course, this is not a perfect product. It's missing some features, and Citroen's after-sales support isn't as strong as some of the established players in the market.
But of course, a lot depends on the pricing. If the pricing is competitive, this might create a little French revolution for Citroen in India. As for our recommendation, if you want something that looks unique, drives well, offers loads of comfort, then this should definitely be one of the test drives that you take.
Yezdi Adventure has been launched with an update. Is it better prepared to take on Royal Enfield Himalayan? King Shukdatta finds out.
Beautiful rainy weather, lush green surroundings, and a motorcycle and its rider caked in mud. Yes, we are riding the Yezdi Adventure today, and this is the kind of terrain that this bike was meant for. It has been updated for 2024, and this is the review. Not much changes in terms of design on the motorcycle. The graphics on the fuel tank are new, and the metal frame now gets an established 69 stickering, which was the year in which Yezdi was established. There are 4 new color schemes on offer: Glacier White, Magnite Maroon, Wolf Grey and Tornado Black. Let me quickly run you through the changes on the Yezdi Adventure 2024. Firstly, the metal cage that you see here, the size reduces, and it also is now lighter by 3.5 kg, and the overall weight of the motorcycle reduces by 1 kg. So total, this model is 4.5 kg lighter than the outgoing model. Plus,
The exhaust has been rerouted, so the center of gravity becomes slightly lower. The ground clearance stays the same at 220 millimeters. The cooling efficiency is much higher now, and the heat management is much better. Yezdi also says that the suspension, the damping has been recalibrated so it absorbs bumps better, particularly at lower speeds.
The engine gets a few tweaks as well to make it run smoother and sharper. There is no change to the displacement. The liquid-cooled motor now makes 29.68 brake horsepower, which is around 0.6 bhp lesser than before, but the torque output stays the same at 29.84 Newton meters.
So let's talk about the performance of the 2024 Yezdi Adventure. Well, like I said, the engine gets a few changes, but the power output becomes much more sharper, much crisper, and you like riding this motorcycle at high speeds. So the engine is a rev happy engine. The moment you gun it, you get a nice strong response from the motorcycle and it darts forward. So that's one quality that we really like. And if you want to ride this motorcycle in traffic, it will do that. If you want to take this bike out on long distance road trips, the bike is capable of that as well. So the overall performance of the Yezdi Adventure 2024 goes up by a couple of notches compared to the previous model. For an enthusiast, there's no better joy than to make a pristine, clean motorcycle dirty, and that's what we did with the Yezdi Adventure today. We took it off-roading through some really gnarly terrain, and the bike took it all in stride without letting up. The bike becomes much better in terms of its off-road capability compared to the previous model, and there are these subtle changes, subtle details. Let me tell you how. The recalibration of the suspension, the remapping of the gear ratios, the subtle changes to the engine, the rerouting of the exhaust, all these things put together make this bike much easier to ride off-road and much more fun too.
The feature set stays the same, with the motorcycle getting Bluetooth connectivity, turn-by-turn navigation and 3 settings for the ABS, road, rain and off-road. In the off-road mode, the ABS on the rear wheel can be disconnected fully.
Well, there's no doubt about the fact that the 2024 Yezdi Adventure becomes a much better motorcycle than before. Well, to add to that, Yezdi has also reduced the prices by up to 5,000 rupees. So the prices now start at 2,10,000 rupees going up to 2,20,000 rupees depending on the color option that you choose. Increasing the capability of the bike, reducing the prices. So if you want to look at a motorcycle for your daily needs in the 300 to 500cc segment, then the Yezdi Adventure should be definitely on your consideration list.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. 10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. बनेगा स्वस्थ इंडिया, वन वर्ल्ड हाइजीन.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision.
Welcome back. You're watching the NDTV Auto Show. Mercedes has launched AMG GLC 43, which is again a coupe SUV, but this one cost over 1 CR. Let me tell you why. Hi, I am with Mercedes AMG GLC 43 Coupe, a car that is going to cost you upwards of 1 CR. This car gets an engine based on AMG's one man, one engine philosophy, and also an engine which is inspired by Mercedes Formula One cars. So let me take you through this sporty GLC. The coupe roofline gives the GLC a distinct look. The stylized alloys add to the appeal. These are 21 inches with 265 by 40 profile tires at the front and 295 by 40 profile at the rear. These ultra high performance tires from Continental are designed to reduce noise. 20-inch rims are on offer too. Up front, the AMG grille catches the eye. LED headlamps with adaptive high beam, a sportier bumper with massive air dams for better airflow. At the rear, you get ducktail spoiler. The LED tail lamps add to the flair, and of course, you get the quad exhaust. GLC 43 now gets a 2-litre 4-cylinder engine, which was earlier the V6, but the power output has increased. Now you get 421 HP power and 500 Nm of torque. You also get a 48-volt starter generator, similar to what Mercedes uses in their F1 cars. There's an electric motor on the turbocharger shaft. When it detects that the air intake is less, it spools up to 1.7 lakh RPMs and makes sure that the engine gets enough air to breathe. Because of this process, there is very little turbo lag. It's almost not noticeable, and the engine is really quick and responsive. Couple that with a very responsive steering and a very balanced suspension setup, and you have a thrilling ride for you. Like in many Mercedes, this one also gets a 9-speed transmission, but this transmission actually is very different from the rest of them. This is a multi-clutch wet transmission, making sure that the downshifts happen really quickly. This also gets active suspension, so you have sports mode, sports plus mode, and then there is comfort mode. The good thing about this suspension tuning is that it's comfortable enough for you to not hesitate taking it out for your everyday run. And yet, you feel absolutely confident pushing it around the corners when you want to take it on a racetrack. For added control, you also have rear axle steering. The rear wheels turn up to 2.5 degrees depending on your speed. So if you're below 100 kph, the rear wheels will turn in the opposite direction, making sure your turning radius is small and you feel a lot better control over the car. And when the speed is above 100 kph, the rear wheels turn in the same direction as the front wheels, making sure that actually the car feels a lot more planted. When you're buying an AMG, you want the feel of an AMG. The sound has to match the expectation. In this car, you do hear the sound, but that sound is being played by the sound system. So it's not as thrilling as you would expect from a V6 engine or a V8 engine, but Having said that, the sound actually is quite nice. In the sports mode and the sports plus mode, you really hear the grunt, and you can actually notice the difference between the sports mode and the sports plus mode just by hearing the sound as well. While I am having a lot of fun driving GLC 43 around, let me stop and show you its interiors. This cabin combines the practicality of GLC with sportiness of GLC 43 Coupe. You get very sporty looking interiors with this very interesting red seat belts. Then you get an 11.9-inch touchscreen with fingerprint sensors, and you get race telematics in here. You get a 12.3-inch driver display, a customizable heads-up display. Now, let me take you to the rear seat. The biggest downside of coupe design is that most of the time the headroom is compromised, but I'm happy to report I have decent amount of headroom here. It's scooped out at the back, so there is a bit of headroom that I get. Then leg space fine, foot space fine, but there is a big transmission tunnel here, so seating 3 passengers is going to be a challenge here. The window size is rather small, and the sunroof finishes right before the second row, so visibility is going to be a little compromised. The boot space is 545 litres and the spare wheel is under the floor, making this space usable. The second row folds in 40-20-40 ratio, freeing up more space when needed. AMG GLC 43 Coupe is a well-balanced product. When you want a sports car that is thrilling yet capable of daily family duties, GLC 43 Coupe is the answer for you. It has been launched at Rs 1.1 crore and with very little competition is expected to get its fair share of buyers. Tata Motors has launched Curvv.EV at very attractive pricing. They are going to launch its petrol and diesel variant on September 2nd. I sat down with Shailesh Chandra, MD Tata Motors Passenger Vehicle and Electric Mobility to talk more about Curvv. Pricing strategy, what was the thought behind that?
It is important that if a customer in a segment like mid-size SUV is thinking of buying an automatic transmission car, then they should actively consider electric also, because this is the best automatic that you can get in any car. And that was the thought process. Given the battery prices have been coming down, we have gone for deeper localization. It gave us an opportunity to bring price parity. In fact, it is slightly less than the on-road price of a petrol automatic in a mid-size SUV.
What about market size? What is the customer profile you are looking at for Curvv as a brand, and what is the market size you think you are targeting with this?
No, so see, this is a mid-size SUV segment, which is typically today, if you see, this segment would be about 55,000-60,000 a month. At an annual level, this would be more approaching 700,000. So this is a large segment now, which gives you the possibility of experimenting with more newness, body styles and all. So, you know, the idea of Curvv, if you see, the mid-size SUV segments are primarily customers who are not the first-time buyers, as unlike the compact SUV segment, where in Nexon, for example, 60% of our Nexon buyers are first-time buyers. Mid-size SUV is an upgrade, you know, segment, and therefore these customers who have owned a less than 4-meter car are now upgrading to a 4.3-meter car or a mid-size SUV car. So primarily, I feel that the Curvv customer is going to be a customer who's upgrading.
But they're rethinking about hybrid, for giving a little bit more focus on hybrid.
I don't think so, because hybrid is just an interim technology, more an ICE vehicle. It might be required by certain manufacturers depending on what is their mix of EVs. And therefore, if there is on the ICE side any technology required to ensure that the mix makes them compliant to meet a CAFE requirement, otherwise they'll face the penalty. So hybrid is only going to serve that purpose. So mix of all technologies will exist. I think that is pretty much for us. A hybrid is not needed because we have a significant headroom to meet the, you know, CAFE compliance.
And what about your growth expectations in EV this year?
you know, I said that we want to remain focused on seeing how we can hit the 1 lakh number. That is the aspiration that we'll still be chasing. We have a lot of tailwinds. The festive season is going to come. There are launches. Curvv EV has got launched. Then we have Harrier EV also coming. And I also believe that once the FAME 3 incentive gets announced, the fleet segment, which has gone down because of the pre-buy in Q4, and currently the fleet operators waiting for a FAME 3, things should revive there also.
I hope you liked the show today. Do give us your feedback on our various social media handles and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Till we meet again, take care. Bye-bye.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. बनेगा स्वस्थ इंडिया. One World Hygiene.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion.
Prime Minister Modi is set to visit landslide hit Wayanad. Today he will review the relief efforts. He will also visit the Bailey Bridge built by the army in record time. The government says there is no concept of a creamy layer in scheduled caste and scheduled tribe quota. It disagrees with Supreme Court's assertion. An ACB raid on Telangana civic body officer, around 3 crore rupees and gold worth lakhs have been seized. The Telangana municipal officer Narendra has been arrested in assets case. Some of the members of the victorious Indian men's hockey team returned back to India. They were received with a warm welcome at the Delhi airport. Some more great news from Paris wrestler Aman Shehrawat scripts history and wins the 5th bronze medal for India at the Paris Olympics. Aman Shehrawat tells how he reduced 1.5 kg in one night to maintain the weight limit during exclusive talk to NDTV. A passenger plane crashes in Brazil's Sao Paulo, killing all 62 people on board. Brazilian president expresses solidarity with victims' families. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Osama Shaba. Top story that we are tracking at this hour. The Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Ashwini Vaishnav, he said that there is no concept of a creamy layer in scheduled castes and scheduled tribes reservation while announcing key cabinet decisions. Ashwini Vaishnav, he said an in-depth discussion was held at the cabinet meeting on a recent Supreme Court judgment that made certain suggestions on the reservation for the SCs and STs. The top court had said that states must identify the creamy layer in the SC and ST categories and exclude them from reservation benefit.
इसके लिए माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आरक्षण के विषय पर एक जजमेंट दिया है। इस जजमेंट ने सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एससी और एसटी के रिजर्वेशन के विषय में कुछ सुझाव दिए। आज माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की अध्यक्षता में कैबिनेट में इस विषय पर विस्तृत चर्चा हुई है। एनडीए सरकार बाबा साहेब अंबेडकर जी के बनाए संविधान के प्रावधानों के प्रति प्रतिबद्ध है, संकल्पबद्ध है। बाबा साहेब अंबेडकर जी के संविधान के अनुसार एससी और एसटी के रिजर्वेशन में क्रीमी लेयर का कोई प्रावधान नहीं है।
So after a full cabinet meeting, yesterday Mr. Modi's government settled that debate and the minister came on record for the cabinet briefing and said that, look, in the constitution that has been adopted by this country and made by B.R. Ambedkar or written by B.R. Ambedkar as Ashwin Vaishnav was articulating there is no provision for a creamy layer in the SC-ST quota, which means that they remain an en-bloc group, they're a homogeneous group, and there cannot be further subdivision or subclassification in the SC-STs. So, post the Supreme Court's observations, this is a very important reassertion by the government. Remember, this is the policy of the land. This is how it has been implemented over the last 70, 80 years. But a reassertion from the government with the full might of the mandate of the cabinet behind it was probably what the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe groups were looking at, and government has done it yesterday. So this should not be seen as any kind of negation of any judicial order, because there was no judicial order. But there was certain pronouncement indicating in that direction. Government has put all of that debate to rest and said, look, the quotas will continue as they exist. Now, politically, quotas have been a minefield for the BJP government. In the last election also, a large section of BJP believes that because the opposition ran away with the narratives on the quota and said that the BJP will alter the constitution and diminish or abolish the quotas, BJP believes that this led to a serious loss of political capital for it and in resultingly Lok Sabha seats. Yesterday also, the SC MPs of the BJP met the Prime Minister. Post that, this cabinet meeting happened, and then this firm assertion came from the government that, look here, there is no scope for tinkering with the quotas as they have existed in the country in the last 7-8 decades.
All right, so that was Nikunj Garg giving us vital information about what has transpired over the last 2 days. The centre has turned down Supreme Court's call for the SC/ST creamy layer exclusion, and what the cabinet says is that there is no provision in the constitution, and this is just hours after the BJP MPs met the Prime Minister yesterday. In fact, let's try and get reactions from Anjum Ara from the JDU. Anjum Ara, first of all, welcome to NDTV. My question to you is, as an ally of the NDA government, what is your stance on the quota issue with regard to the subcategorization? Now, while the Supreme Court has recommended excluding the creamy layer, the government here says that there is no provision as per the constitution. अंजुम आरा, अगर आप मुझे सुन सकती हैं तो मेरा सवाल ये है कि जेडीयू एज एन एलाई, एनडीए का एलाई है, आपका क्या स्टैंस है और जेडीयू का क्या स्टैंस है कोटा इशू पे, स्पेशली मतलब सब कैटेगराइजेशन के रिगार्ड्स में?
देखिए, जो ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अपने वर्डिक्ट दिए हैं वो निश्चित रूप से कोटा विद इन कोटा की अगर बात है तो हम अपने अगर प्रैक्टिकल होकर के अपने आसपास के परिवेश को भी देखें तो निश्चित रूप से जो एससी कैटेगरी के लोग हैं उसमें बहुत सारे ऐसे विभिन्न जातियां हैं जिसको कोटा विद इन कोटा की बात की जा रही है। अच्छा, एक चीज और, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में जो रिजर्वेशन लाया गया उसका केंद्र बिंदु क्या था? वो था अनटचेबिलिटी। तो आप देखेंगे कि हमारे भी सोसाइटी में अभी वर्तमान में देखने को मिलेगा कि कुछ जातियां ऐसी हैं जो अनटचेबिलिटी के घेरे से वो बाहर आ चुकी हैं, लेकिन कुछ जातियां ऐसी हैं जो अभी भी, जैसे नाम भी लेने में ये लगता है, भंगी, मुसहर, ये सब समाज के जो लोग हैं वाकई में वो बहुत ज्यादा अभी नीचे हैं और छुआछूत जैसी चीजें हम लोग को देखने को अक्सर मिल जाती है सोसाइटी में। तो मुझे लगता है कि इंस्टेंट इस पे करने से पहले एक वाकई में एक स्टडी होनी चाहिए कि वर्तमान में अनुसूचित जाति के जितनी भी जातियां हैं उनके बीच में किस तरह के कैटेगरी, मतलब कौन सी जाति अपलिफ्टेड है या कौन सी जाति अभी बहुत ज्यादा नीचे है, उनको आगे ले जाने की जरूरत है। तो मुझे लगता है कि इसको ये देखने की आवश्यकता है जो ऑनरेबल हाई कोर्ट ने इंडिकेट किया है।
All right. We are also in fact joined by Deepak Reddy.
Supreme Court ने जो indicate किया है.
Right. In fact, we are also joined by Deepak Reddy, spokesperson of the TDP. Sir, the TDP has been backing caste subgrouping, but the NDA government, it says there is no provision for creamy layer in quota. What is your take on this?
TDP has been fighting for this cause for the last 20 years. In fact, during the earlier Chandrababu Naidu ji's government, we have represented in the court also from the government side. We believe after 75 years, there has to be a comprehensive relook at the whole process. And there is a cry from certain sections of the SC/ST community that justice is not being done as per the quota of their population. So we strongly support this move. And in Andhra Pradesh, and BJP has earlier clarified clearly that as far as things of Andhra Pradesh are concerned, it would be a joint decision of all the three parties. So there is clarity on that front. And I probably think since this issue has come up now, it might be a good idea to look at a similar classification in the Muslim community also. Might be a good idea for one to ponder on.
All right. Thank you, both of you, for speaking to us and giving your views, especially when This is now turning out to be one of the biggest stories in India at the moment. The centre has turned down the Supreme Court's call for the SC/ST creamy layer exclusion, and the cabinet very clearly mentions that there is no provision in constitution for such change. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he will visit the landslides hit Wayanad today in just a short while from now to review the relief and rehabilitation efforts and also interact with the survivors. Now, the officials said that Prime Minister Modi, he will reach Kannur shortly and then undertake an aerial survey of the landslides affected areas in Wayanad. Now, the central government has listed rescue and relief efforts in Wayanad after landslides hit. Meanwhile, the opposition, it has been demanding that the Wayanad calamity be declared a national disaster. However, there is no provision for the centre to make such a declaration. The decision seems to be with the state government. The leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, posted on social media platform X saying that Prime Minister's decision to visit is a good one and that post his visit, Rahul is confident that the Prime Minister will declare it a national disaster. And Pratibha joins us to get us more on this story. Pratibha, how crucial is this visit by the Prime Minister after landslide hit Wayanad? And we have seen a lot of destruction, and it is obviously going to send out a good message for not just the people who have been affected, but also people who are involved in rescue operations, etc.
In fact, it's been more than a week since the landslides hit the Wayanad region there, and Prime Minister Modi had initially assigned two of the union ministers. One was Mr. George Kurian, who did visit the spot and take stock of the situation, and the next was Mr. Suresh Gopi there. And now Prime Minister Modi himself has chosen to be present there to talk to the survivors as well as take stock of the situation. He would be embarking on an aerial survey before visiting the survivors at the relief camps as well as talk to the rescue personnel there. We have been talking about the teams from both the centre as well as the state who have been working in sync in terms of having the rescue operation being done efficiently as possible for the last 1 week there. And Prime Minister Modi's visit also comes at a time when there has been a centre versus state tussle as far as the alert has been concerned and as far as different other issues, because we've been talking about politics on two different fronts, where we're talking of the Congress versus the BJP and we are talking of the centre versus the state. Of course, Prime Minister Modi's visit there is extremely significant at this point in time, mainly because his visit also comes at a time when there has been a political tussle between the centre as well as the state, and also at a time when this landslides needs to be declared as a national disaster, and that has been one of the voices that have been raised by the opposition leaders there, like you have mentioned. As far as his plan goes, yes, he would be arriving at the Kannur base at around 11:15 and then embarking on a helicopter survey, the aerial survey that I was talking about. And then at around 12:15, 12:30 is when he would be visiting both the relief camp as well as the landslide site. And he would be heading back at around 3 p.m. is what we hear from sources as far as his agenda goes. And this also comes at a time when the death toll has crossed the 400 mark, and we've been talking about how the rescue operation is at its fag end right as we speak. Back to you.
All right, Pratibha Raman, thank you very much for getting us all the latest from the ground there. In fact, to help the displaced people and assist in rehabilitation efforts, NDTV has started the Care for Kerala campaign. Actor Shriya Sharan and Sharat Kumar, they joined the NDTV campaign Care for Kerala. Listen in to all those messages.
Hi, I'm Shriya Sharan. Kerala's Wayanad area is hit by devastating landslides, resulting in loss of lives and livelihood. Kerala needs your help right now. Let's join NDTV initiative. Come, donate, let's rebuild Wayanad.
Landslide devastation in Kerala's Wayanad. Join NDTV's initiative. Donate for Kerala.
All right, in a significant operation by the Anti-Corruption Bureau, a staggering amount of cash and assets were uncovered during a raid on the residence of Dasari Narendra, the superintendent and in charge of the revenue office at the Nizamabad Municipal Corporation. Now, the raid conducted as part of a case registered against Narendra for disproportionate assets. It revealed assets far exceeding his known sources of income. Now, during the search, the ACB discovered rupees 2.93 crore in cash stashed in his house, along with a bank balance totaling rupees 1.10 crore in accounts held by Narendra. His wife and his mother, additionally 51 tolas of gold worth rupees 6 lakh and 17 immovable properties valued at rupees 1.98 crore were also seized. My colleague Uma Sudhir gets us all the report.
The seizure of over 6 crore rupees worth of assets from the home of a grade 2 officer who was working as municipality superintendent in the Nizamabad Municipal Corporation in charge of revenue, that has shocked even the ACB officials, who said that they were shocked to find this currency, actually wads of currency, kept in carton boxes under the bed in his home in Nizamabad. Of course, a disproportionate assets case has been booked, and what the officials found was that not just the currency that needed to be counted using the machines, but also 1.1 crore rupees was found in the bank accounts of Narendra as well as his wife and mother. And there was about 51 tulas of gold, that's nearly half a kg of gold, plus documents relating to about 17 properties. It includes maximum number of plots as well as homes in Hyderabad, Nizamabad as well as the Nirmal district. Narendra is someone who has been in the Nizamabad Municipal Corporation for a long time. In fact, he worked as assistant to the once mayor, former mayor Dharmapuri Sanjay, and we are told that it is during his tenure with him that he had in fact developed a network of contacts with politicians as well as other influential businessmen in Nizamabad. And even though he was not a grade 1 officer or heading the corporation, despite that he was very powerful, and even an attempt to transfer him out of Nizamabad was in a sense thwarted by him, and he continued to be in the Nizamabad Municipal Corporation. What we also understand is that Dasari Narendra in fact got the job on compassionate grounds after his father's death and has become entrenched. This is something that the Revanth Reddy government has tried to address with an order that they brought in on June 30th, and they said that no government employee will continue in any post for more than 4 years. There is also a protection so that they are not vilified or transferred, and therefore a 2-year tenure is given to them, but no one expected to be there in their post 4 years of serving there. So this one perhaps reflective of a larger melee in departments like the municipalities across the country, revenue departments and other revenue generating sources where this kind of entrenched corruption is being seen.
Aam Aadmi Party leader Manish Sisodia, he visits the Hanuman temple. He also posted a selfie with his wife saying first tea after 17 months. Remember, Manish Sisodia, he was released from Delhi's Tihar jail hours after the Supreme Court granted the ex-deputy chief minister bail in the alleged liquor policy scam. In a series of powerful observations, the top court called Sisodia's nearly 18-month incarceration a travesty of justice. Manish Sisodia had been arrested by the CBI in February last year. And the victorious Indian men's hockey team, some of the members of that particular team returned after their big win, after winning the bronze medal at the Paris Olympics. The players, they received a grand welcome at the airport. The Indian men's hockey team defeated Spain 2-1 in the bronze medal match to clinch that medal at the Paris Olympics on Thursday. Now, the remaining team members, they are also expected to return after the closing ceremony. They will be heading, the team members will be heading to their hotel in a short while from now, from where they will also go to the Dhyan Chand Stadium.
यही होता है कि आपको सब सपोर्ट मिले, जो आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट हो आपकी पूरी हो, तो आई थिंक वो हमें मिली है और आई रियली वांट टू थैंक। बहुत खुश हैं और बहुत प्राउड हैं क्योंकि हॉकी के लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है और जितना प्यार अब मिल रहा है हॉकी को और ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हमारी डबल करता है और हम भी कोशिश करेंगे कि जब भी मैदान में जाएं और देश के लिए मेडल लेके आएं।
As you can see behind me, the Indian hockey team, the players have just arrived at the Dhyan Chand Stadium. The bus is packed with the Indian hockey team players. They have received the bronze medal for the country. These are the winners who are coming out of the bus right now. The Indian hockey team is out right now. As you can see, one by one, they're coming out to the Dhyan Chand Stadium. This is indeed a big victory, not just for India, but also for the sport of hockey. From rural Punjab to the Olympics, 8 boys earn hockey bronze. The journeys of these champions from village fields to the Olympics, as you can see, he's come out with this baby here with this bronze medal. These are visuals that NDTV is getting you from the Dhyan Chand Stadium. The bronze shining around their necks, as you can see right now. These are the hockey champions of the country. Indian men's hockey team beat Spain by 2-1 in Paris 2024 Olympics on Thursday to clinch a bronze medal at the Summer Games. This marked India men's hockey team's second consecutive Olympic medal, an achievement last accomplished 52 years ago. Overall, the men in blue bagged a record-extending 13th Olympic medal, the most by any team. All the team players with the hands around their medals walking into the Dhyan Chand Stadium right now to meet with the sports minister shortly. These are our men in blue who have made the nation proud with their victory and with their perseverance and dedication, not just towards the sport but also towards the country as well. This match was also especially significant as it also served as the farewell game for legendary Indian goalkeeper P.R. Shijesh, who had earlier announced that this game would be his last in the Indian jersey. The players are here being welcomed. Some of them are here with their children as well. As you can see, the environment here is one of course, joy and victory. These are beautiful visuals here of the team coming back from Paris right here. That was the Indian hockey team back with their bronze at the home turf at the Dhyan Chand Stadium. These are the men in blue who have come back and have made the country proud and have paid tribute to the game, the national sport of the country. With camera person Ashok Mahale, this is Tanushka Datta for NDTV.
Well, absolutely fantastic scenes there as the Indian men's hockey team returns victorious, winning the bronze medal. In fact, another bronze medal has come India's way. Aman Shehrawat, he clinched his first Olympics bronze medal at the Paris Olympics 2024 by defeating Puerto Rico's Darian Cruz in the men's 57 kg wrestling event. Aman, remember, is the youngest male wrestler at the Paris 2024 Olympics, and he won India's 6th medal overall. My colleague Rika Roy, she spoke to Aman after his victory. Let's listen in to what he had to say.
अमन, बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद मेडल के लिए। एक बार मेडल आप सबको दिखा दीजिए क्योंकि इंडिया में सब आपका मेडल देखना चाहेंगे। ये अमन शेरावत का मेडल है, ब्रॉन्ज मेडल, एंड दिस इज द 6th मेडल फ्रॉम द पेरिस ओलंपिक गेम्स इन छत्रसाल स्टेडियम। अमन, सबसे पहले तो ये बताइए कि क्या मानसिकता लेकर आप आए हुए थे? आप 21 साल के हैं, सबसे यंगेस्ट इंडिया के ओलंपिक मेडलिस्ट हैं, क्या मानसिकता लेके आए हुए थे?
ये लेके आए थे ओलंपिक में मेडल जीतने, सोच के तो गोल्ड किए आए थे, पर जो अच्छा होगा, मतलब आगे अभी जो ये कमी रही है, अभी अगले ओलंपिक में जो 28 को नहीं रही, पहले से तैयारी करके आएंगे।
मतलब इसने आपकी हंगर को और बढ़ा दिया है?
हाँ, मतलब सभी ऐसे कहते थे भाई अभी इस ओलंपिक से अच्छा तो कुछ 28 में मिलेगा, फिर मैं इस ओलंपिक में मेडल दूंगा, तो फिर मतलब वे कह रहे थे मैं 28 में, तो 28 में अच्छा रख पाएंगे।
अच्छा अमन, एक चीज़ बताओ, कल बाउट के बाद आज भी आपका बाउट होना था और इस बीच वेट काफ़ी इंक्रीज हो गया था, क्या किया आपने पूरे रात? आपने वेट घटाने के लिए भी कुछ किए हैं?
कुछ नहीं जी, बहुत कुछ के मतलब पहले तो बाउट खत्म हुई, फिर 2 घंटे प्रैक्टिस करी, खत्म होते ही यहीं फिर जाके 1 बजे वहाँ पर जिम में करी विलेज में, 3 बजे जाके कहीं वजन आया, फिर नींद नहीं आई, फिर तो मतलब वजन ही थे। मेन टारगेट तो ऐसा था भाई वजन लाना है बस।
ब्रॉन्ज मेडल बाउट से पहले आप सोए? बिल्कुल नहीं
सोए तो जी 8-9 तारीख को तो कभी 1 मिनट भी नींद नहीं आई है। कुश्ती की चली हुई थी एकदम, मतलब सोने की कोशिश करे जब भी भाई कुश्ती में क्या रहा कैसा क्या हो।
अच्छा, एक आखिरी सवाल कि आप बहुत छोटे से छत्रसाल स्टेडियम में हो, आपके माँ बाप लोग रहेंगे, लेकिन कोई फैमिली मेम्बर अभी याद आ रहे हैं, किसी को आप ये मेडल डेडिकेट करना चाहते हो, दिखाना चाहते हो घर वापस जाके?
घर में तो गुरु जी और मेरे सागर भाई हैं जो मुझे स्टेडियम में संभालते हैं, तो उन्हीं को दिखाना चाहता हूँ मैं ये मैंने जीत लिया, ये आपकी मेहनत जो थी।
आपके लिए हम सब बहुत बहुत प्राउड है और वाकई में वो भी बहुत प्राउड होंगे। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Well, jubilant scenes there. Aman Shehrawat winning that bronze medal. But the hearing into Indian wrestler Vinesh Phogat's appeal against her disqualification from the Olympic finals, it got concluded at the ad hoc division of the Court of Arbitration for Sports, with the Indian Olympic Association insisting that it is hopeful of a positive resolution. Now, in her appeal, Vinesh has demanded that she be given a joint silver with Cuban wrestler Lopez, as she was within the prescribed weight limit during her bout on Tuesday. In fact, what exactly happened on the 9th of August was the fact that the hearing for Vinesh Phogat's disqualification, it happened on Friday. The legal representatives and representatives of the United World Wrestling, they were also present. Vinesh has appealed that she be given a joint silver there. Time for a very short break. More news on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Prime Minister Modi is set to visit landslide hit Wayanad. Today he will review the relief efforts. He will also visit the Bailey Bridge built by the army in record time. The government says there is no concept of a creamy layer in SC/ST quota, disagrees with Supreme Court's assertion. ACB raid on Telangana civic body officer. Around 3 crore cash and gold worth lakhs have been seized. The Telangana municipal officer has been arrested in assets case. A few members of the Indian men's hockey team returned back to India. They were received with a warm welcome at the Delhi airport.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day.
Hello guys and welcome to another fresh episode of Gadget 360 with Technical Guruji. ये वो शो है ना जहां पे मैं हर बार आपके लिए कुछ नए गैजेट्स लेके आ जाता हूं एंड बेसिकली व्हाट वी डू इज वी गो डीप इनसाइड दीज न्यू गैजेट्स. हम उन्हीं को एक्सप्लोर करते हैं. समटाइम्स आई शेयर सम नाइस टिप्स विद यू और आप ही के सवालों का जवाब भी देता हूं. सो इस एपिसोड में भी आई हैव गॉट एवरीथिंग पैक्ड जस्ट फॉर यू. लेट्स एक्सप्लोर दीज न्यू गैजेट्स व्हिच आर काइंड ऑफ इवॉल्विंग ऑल अराउंड अस ऑन अ डेली बेसिस. हेलो एवरीवन, मेरा नाम है गौरव एके टीजी. आप देख रहे हैं गैजेट 360 विद टेक्निकल गुरुजी. जल्दी से आगे बढ़ते हैं, चलिए शुरू करते हैं. Now friends, as we start, जैसे मैं बोल रहा था कि these gadgets basically evolve on a daily basis all around us. तो हमें ये पता लगाना बहुत जरूरी है कि what has happened in the past week in this section, news of the week.
डेडपूल का माइडास टच स्मार्टफोन्स तक पहुंच गया है विद द रिलीज ऑफ पोको F6 डेडपूल लिमिटेड एडिशन गोइंग ऑन सेल इन इंडिया. These Snapdragon 8s Gen 3 powered devices feature OLED 1.5K displays, get 50 megapixel dual cameras and ये 5000 mAh की बैटरी के साथ आते हैं जिनमें 90 वॉट्स की वायर्ड फास्ट चार्जिंग का सपोर्ट भी है. 12GB RAM and 256GB स्टोरेज वाला वेरिएंट फ्लिपकार्ट पे कॉस्ट्स 33,999 विदाउट पार्टनर ऑफर्स. In pursuit of an everything app, social media platform X is inching closer and closer towards launching a peer-to-peer payment service. ये खबर पहले भी चर्चा में रह चुकी है, पर इंडिपेंडेंट ऐप रिसर्चर नीमा आउजी का कहना है कि अब ये फीचर शायद जल्द ही इंट्रोड्यूस हो सकता है. After the Microsoft global outage of July 19th, US-based security firm CrowdStrike ने finally एक report publish करी है detailing how their update caused crashes and boot loops in the operating system globally. The company published a post-incident report highlighting that its artificial intelligence system called the Falcon sensor caused an error. CrowdStrike का कहना है कि Falcon मशीन लर्निंग मॉडल्स रन करता है जो ऑटोमेटिकली लेटेस्ट एंड एडवांस थ्रेट्स को आइडेंटिफाई करके उनकी रेमेडीज डिप्लॉय कर देता है. बट 19 जुलाई से कुछ पहले ही डिटेक्शन फंक्शनैलिटी ने एक नया टेम्पलेट टाइप पुश कर दिया था टू मिलियंस ऑफ कंप्यूटर्स ग्लोबली व्हिच कॉज्ड द क्रैशेस. CrowdStrike ने कहा है that it has focused on increased testing and validation before pushing updates in the future. Further, उन्होंने future updates को phased manner में रिलीज करने की बात भी कही है to minimize similar errors in the future. Google has announced that their AI platform Gemini will now help make our smart homes even smarter. अपने IO Connect इवेंट पे गूगल ने अपने ऑलमोस्ट हर प्रोडक्ट में Gemini एंड AI कैपेबिलिटीज की इंटीग्रेशन अनाउंस करी थी. नाउ देव रिलीज अ न्यू नेस्ट लर्निंग थर्मोस्टैट एंड अ न्यू गूगल टीवी स्ट्रीमर. दोनों प्रोडक्ट्स Gemini मॉडल्स की मदद से स्मार्टर देन एवर एंड सिंपलर टू यूज देन बिफोर क्लेम किए जा रहे हैं. Similar integrations can also be found in Google Home devices. Google Nest cameras will now offer video segmentation and identification, यानी detailed and contextual information जब कोई activity detect होगी. Automations में Gemini के integration की वजह से the whole long process of setting up seems to be gone. With simple voice prompts to Gemini helping set these up. Expect similar updates and functionalities from Google Assistant as well.
Okay, so friends, the first story today is about Vivo completing its 10 years in India. Basically, Vivo is celebrating their 10th anniversary. It was 2014 जब Vivo Indian market में आया था और अभी 10 सालों में they have grown a lot. And इसी जर्नी को showcase करने के लिए Vivo had an event. It was called the Vivo Tech Day. And यहाँ पे हमने देखा all the technology that goes behind all these Vivo smartphones. Basically, if you talk about the Zeiss collaboration, या अगर हम बात करते हैं द स्ट्रेंथ्स ऑफ शॉर्ट जेनरेशन ग्लास, या फिर अगर हम बात कर लें आईकू की, विच इज अ सब ब्रांड ऑफ वीवो, दैट हाउ दे आर एनहांसिंग देयर प्रोडक्ट्स। और इनफैक्ट वीवो ने शोकेस किया कि कैसे इंडिया सेंट्रिक प्रोडक्ट्स वो लेके आते हैं while collaborating with multiple Indian partners. So let's have a closer look at this Vivo Tech Day 2024.
वीवो ने अपनी 10th एनिवर्सरी इन इंडिया को धूमधाम से मनाया वीवो टेक डे 2024 में अपने स्मार्टफोन्स की कमाल की टेक्नोलॉजी शोकेस करते हुए। जायस के साथ पार्टनरशिप में वीवो ने कैमरा परफॉर्मेंस को एक नया लेवल दिया है। टी-स्टार कोटिंग, जायस एपीओ टेलीफोटो लेंस और मल्टीफोकल पोर्ट्रेट जैसे फीचर्स से आपके फोटोज होंगे एकदम प्रोफेशनल। नया V3 प्लस चिप 6 नैनोमीटर आर्किटेक्चर के साथ AI वीडियो एल्गोरिथम्स को बूस्ट करता है और पावर कंजम्पशन कम करता है। सोनी के साथ मिलकर बनाया गया 50 मेगापिक्सल का लाइट 900 सेंसर लो लाइट फोटोग्राफी में छा जाता है। प्रीमियम फोन्स के लिए वीवो ने शॉट के वर्ल्ड क्लास कवर ग्लास को अपनाया है, जो फ्लेक्सिबल है, स्ट्रॉन्ग है और ड्यूरेबल भी है। वीवो कम्युनिकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी में भी कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ रहा है। 3GPP का मेंबर होने के साथ ही वीवो ने 6000 से ज्यादा पेटेंट्स फाइल किए हैं और 15,000 से ज्यादा इंप्रूवमेंट्स सजेस्ट किए हैं। ओवरऑल वीवो टेक डे 2024 में वीवो ने अपनी इनोवेशन और टेक्नोलॉजी की डेडिकेशन को शोकेस किया।
Now friends, from the event, let's divert our attention to these new smartphones जो Vivo ने just अभी launch किए हैं. This is the all new Vivo V40 and this is the V40 Pro. यहाँ पे दोनों phones के पीछे you will see a badging of Zeiss, which simply means कि these new phones they are well equipped with all the Zeiss features. For example, यहाँ पे we have the option of Zeiss multifocal portrait, या फिर जो Zeiss का cinematic bokeh effects हैं वो भी हमको इन फोन से मिलते हैं। दे आर IP रेटेड, बेसिकली वाटर रेजिस्टेंट अंडर वाटर और डस्ट रेजिस्टेंस भी इन फोन में हमको मिल जाती है। क्वाइट स्लीक प्रोफाइल, क्वाइट इंटरेस्टिंग डिजाइंस। लेट्स सी अप क्लोज कि आखिर वीवो के जो दोनों नए फोन हैं इन द V सीरीज, हाउ एग्जैक्टली दे प्रोवाइड अ कंप्लीट पैकेज टू अस इन फॉर्म ऑफ दीज टू न्यू डिजाइंस।
Vivo has just launched its photography focused V40 series in India with the V40 and the V40 Pro. दोनों फोन्स में एक स्टनिंग 6.78 इंच 1.5K AMOLED डिस्प्ले है with a 120 Hz refresh rate for buttery smooth visuals. Plus, they're both IP68 water and dust resistant, so you can take them on all of your adventures without any worry. The V40 is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 7 Gen 3 chipset. It comes with up to 12 GB of LPDDR4X RAM and a whopping 512 GB of internal storage, featuring a 50 megapixel Samsung ISOCELL primary sensor with Zeiss optics and OIS, along with a 50 megapixel ultra-wide lens. Selfie lovers will be thrilled with the 50 megapixel front camera capable of 4K video recording as well. The V40 Pro, it boasts the mighty MediaTek Dimensity 9200 Plus processor coupled with the Immortalis G715 GPU for top-notch gaming performance. It boasts a triple rear camera setup including a 50 megapixel Sony IMX921 primary sensor with OIS and Zeiss optics, a 50 megapixel ultra-wide lens and a 50 megapixel Sony IMX816 2x telephoto lens for those perfect zoomed in shots. Selfie game strong रहेगा with the 50 megapixel front shooter, as both phones pack a massive 5500 mAh battery with 80 watts of fast charging supported. और सॉफ्टवेयर की बात करें तो दोनों फोन्स Android 14 based Fun Touch OS पे रन करते हैं. The Vivo V40 starts at 34,999 for the 8GB and 128GB model, and it goes up to 41,999 for the 12GB 512GB model, while the V40 Pro starts at 49,999 for the 8GB 256GB variant, 55,999 for the 12GB 512GB model. So if you're a photography enthusiast looking for a powerful and stylish smartphone, the Vivo V40 series is definitely worth considering.
Friends, you heard it right. Basically, in this V40 Pro, the storage goes all the way up to 512 GB. हमने देखा है काफी सारे मोबाइल फोन्स जो हैं in the market, they provide storage till 1 TB. अब जब हम बात करते हैं इस KB, MB, GB, TB की, you know what exactly is a zettabyte? मतलब किलोबाइट, मेगाबाइट, गीगाबाइट हम सबने देखा है, बट व्हाट इज अ zettabyte? वेल, लेट मी टेल यू इन डिटेल. अब देखिए, जीबी तक तो ठीक है, इट्स प्रीटी इजी. अगर हम बात करते हैं 1024 GB की, इट बिकम्स 1 टेराबाइट. हो सकता है मे बी योर कंप्यूटर और योर लैपटॉप हैज अ स्टोरेज अप टू 1 टेराबाइट और मे बी इवन मोर देन दैट, बट थोड़ा सा और आगे बढ़ते हैं. So when you have 1024 terabytes, it becomes 1 petabyte. Just imagine the size of 1 petabyte. And when you have 1024 petabytes, it becomes 1 exabyte. And when you have 1024 exabytes, it becomes 1 zettabyte. And guys, as per the predictions, by the starting of 2025, we will have eventually a total data of 175 zettabytes globally. जी हाँ, it includes all your emails, all your selfies, all your photos, your videos, your memories, all the internet data, everything combined would be equivalent to 175 zettabytes. Just put in your imagination और सोचो, if you were to store all that data under one roof, तो कितने सारे हार्ड ड्राइव्स आपको यूज करने पड़ेंगे? वेल, दिस इज हाउ बिग द वर्ल्ड ऑफ डेटा इज. डिड यू नो दिस? If yes, then amazing. But if no, then please let me know by writing in all your emails. एड्रेस बड़ा ही आसान है, it's tg@ndtv.com. एंड जब आप ईमेल लिखेंगे, it will be a few kilobytes. बट आप इमेजिन करो, जब बहुत सारे व्यूअर्स ईमेल लिखेंगे, तो यहाँ पे भी वी आर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग टुवर्ड्स दैट 175 zettabytes of data. So friends, for the next one, I have something very special. And I like the way the episode is flowing today because हम बात कर रहे थे about the technology of Vivo, then हमने देखा V40 स्मार्टफोन, उसमें है मॉडल अप टू 512 GB, हमने बात की about zettabytes, and in fact this phone also achieves something very unique. क्योंकि what I have with me is the latest OnePlus Open Apex Edition. जी हाँ, this phone is a successor, or I would say a new version of the already existing OnePlus Open with some subtle changes. The first thing is obviously this new crimson shadow color. It gives you this dark red or maroon hints, basically made up of vegan leather. काफी exciting, काफी एक अच्छी feel आपको हाथ में मिलती है. It has the alert slider in a new avatar because यहाँ पे it has a privacy chip inside. जब आप इसको सबसे ऊपर मूव करते हैं, it enters the VIP mode, which essentially blocks the access to camera and the microphone. तो आपके फ़ोन में कोई भी ऐप हो, वो कैमरा या आपके माइक्रोफोन को एक्सेस नहीं कर सकती है, बेसिकली गिविंग यू दिस पीस ऑफ माइंड दैट येस, योर फोन इज प्रोटेक्टेड नाउ. एंड यहाँ पे दिस फोन नाउ ऑफर्स, hear me right, it is 1 terabyte of storage in this OnePlus Open. So the package comes with 16 GB of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage in this new OnePlus Open Apex Edition. एक बार थोड़ा सा इसको आप देख लो अच्छे से and get to know some more details about this foldable straight from OnePlus.
OnePlus ने अपने पहले फोल्डेबल फोन OnePlus Open का एक नया रूप पेश किया है, the OnePlus Open Apex Edition. This special edition phone is turning heads with its striking crimson red vegan leather back finish, जिससे इसका लुक और भी प्रीमियम हो गया है. But that's not all. इस फोन में एक नया privacy chip है जो अलर्ट स्लाइडर के साथ एम्बेडेड है. मतलब जब आप साइलेंट मोड पे स्विच करेंगे तो ये चिप ऑटोमेटिकली सारे एप्स के एक्सेस आपके फोन के कैमरा और माइक्रोफोन से ब्लॉक कर देगा. और जिनको पावर और स्पेस चाहिए, उनके लिए भी OnePlus Open Apex Edition में कोई कमी नहीं है. It comes with a massive 16 GB of RAM and a whopping 1 terabyte of storage, जिससे आपके apps, photos, videos और सब कुछ के लिए जगह की कोई कमी नहीं होगी. The OnePlus Open Apex Edition is a testament to OnePlus's commitment to innovation, style and privacy.
Friends, I hope कि आपको अभी तक एपिसोड में बहुत मजा आ रहा है, and मजा आपके लिए और बाकी है, जहां पे I'm gonna give you a very nice tech tip जो आपके पैसे जरूर बचाएगी और साथ में कुछ सवालों के जवाब भी आपको मिलने वाले हैं. Everything right after this short break.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. 10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy seems a perfectly conceivable number.
If you want to be a national party, it's that you sort of accept the way the world is rather than want to endlessly hark back to how it was.
Modi is promoting the digitization of the economy, which is accelerating growth in the country.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
Hello and welcome to India Sense, where I speak with global opinion makers.
The United States has made a strategic decision over the last 20 years to move closer to India.
So a $7 trillion economy.
हेलो गाइज, वेलकम बैक आफ्टर द ब्रेक टू योर फेवरेट शो गैजेट 360 विद टेक्निकल गुरुजी, जहां पे मैं गौरव आपसे हमेशा गैजेट्स की बातें करता रहता हूं। एंड बेसिकली गैजेट्स से हम एक डिजिटल लाइफ में तो मूव कर ही चुके हैं ना। टुडे एवरीथिंग व्हाट वी हैव इज डिजिटल। सो बेसिकली आवर मनी मैनेजमेंट शुड आल्सो बी डिजिटल। मतलब कब तक अपने वॉलेट में वो आप पर्चियों पे हिसाब लिख लिख के स्टोर करते रहोगे, या कब तक अपने घर में आप डायरीज में लिखना जो है वो कंटिन्यू करते रहोगे, बिकॉज टुडे एवरीथिंग इज डिजिटल। जहां पे हम जो खर्चा करते हैं वो भी डिजिटल होता है, एंड इट वुड बी रियली हेल्पफुल फॉर अस टू मैनेज ऑल आवर मनी डिजिटली। सो लेट मी गिव यू बेसिक टिप्स जिनको अगर आप यूज करते हैं तो आप काफी अच्छे से यू विल बी एबल टू टेक केयर ऑफ ऑल योर एक्सपेंसेस, ऑल योर बजटिंग वेरी इजीली। So the first one here is split wise। मतलब ऐसा बहुत बार होता है कि you are on a trip with your friends, अब कहीं पे कोई पे कर रहा है, sometimes some expenses are done by someone else। तो यहाँ पे split wise basically enables you to split all your expenses very easily using the power of digital and your smartphones। काफी अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है, काफी अच्छी एप्लीकेशन है, you should all give it a try। Second is money manager, जहाँ पे you can just put in all your expenses and ये आपको अलग अलग ग्राफिकल फॉर्मेट्स में आपका आउटपुट दिखा सकता है कि मे बी आप बाहर खाने पे ज्यादा खर्चा कर रहे हैं या फिर यू आर स्पेंडिंग टू मच ऑन क्लोथिंग। तो यहाँ पे ऑल दीज एप्स एंड प्लस देयर आर थाउजेंड्स मोर ऑन द प्ले स्टोर और ऐप स्टोर। ये जो एप्स हैं ये आपका पैसा या एक्सपेंस मैनेज करने में आपकी मदद कर सकती हैं, एंड यू शुड ऑल गिव देम अ ट्राई जस्ट टू नो एंड मैनेज योर फाइनेंसेस एंड एक्सपेंसेस बेटर। So friends, here we are once again। मेरा पर्सनल फेवरेट सेक्शन है ये, जहां पे मैं जो आपने सवाल पूछे थे उनका जवाब देता हूं, एंड लेट्स सी द काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस वी हैव फॉर दिस वीक्स एपिसोड। See, definitely the A7S Mark 1 is pretty old by now, and अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं the A7C Mark 2, it's actually quite capable। मतलब आप जो है अगर if you're trying to find this sweet spot between videography and photography, so this could be the camera। अगर आप केवल वीडियोस की बात करते तो I would have suggested you the FX lineup, लेकिन क्योंकि you are also talking about photography, the A7C Mark 2 because it has a 33 megapixels sensor, तो फोटोज के लिए भी आपको sufficient एक अच्छा आउटपुट मिलेगा, and videos of course। So this would be a nice upgrade for you to jump from the A7S Mark 1 to A7C Mark 2 now।
मार्केट में सबसे अच्छे ईयरबड्स कौन से ब्रांड के हैं ₹5000 की रेंज में?
See, sound is very subjective and it depends person to person कि the kind of sound you prefer। हो सकता है आपको थोड़ा सा bass चाहिए, हो सकता है you want this authentic sound, but if I would recommend you just one earphone, तो मैं बोलूँगा कि आप Oppo Enco Air series जो है ना, the Air 3 Pro, the Air 4 Pro, आप अगर वो लेंगे in this budget, you will get a great experience overall। So Oppo Enco series of TWS earphones is my recommendation under that budget।
Hey TG, do you think that robot flow cleaners are efficient? Because I've been thinking of buying one for some time now।
Depends on the geography of your house, because India में we have a different scenario altogether, because in the west if you see most of the houses they are carpeted or they have wooden flooring and the flooring is quite even। So वहाँ पे जो robot cleaners हैं वो काफी अच्छे से काम कर सकते हैं, but in our country, in our houses, sometimes the geography is a bit different। जहाँ पे carpets जो हैं वो proper wall to wall नहीं होते हैं बहुत cases में। Sometimes we have staircases, sometimes we have uneven surfaces। तो आप अपने घर में एक बार देखिए कि the kind of cleaning is required basis of कि आपके घर में कैसा फर्श है या कैसे आप carpets वगैरह यूज करते हैं। अगर आपको लगता है कि yes it's mostly flat and ज़्यादा ऐसा आपको uneven surface नहीं मिल रहा है, then a robot vacuum cleaner would be a really helpful one for you। Otherwise manually साफ करना ज़्यादा better होगा, because robot cleaners, although they are very good and they are getting very advanced, are not really for each household in India। Yeah, I mean, it's definitely safe, and sometimes I charge my MacBook, for example, with the Apple's 30-watt adapter or 25-watt adapter, 20-watt adapter, and it works all fine. It's just that कि जो charging की speeds हैं वो बहुत slow हो जाती हैं, considering MacBooks they have huge battery capacity. So ideally you should be charging with like a fast charger जो आपको box में मिलता है. But even if you don't have it, a lower capacity charger basically giving you output via Type-C port should be enough for the MacBook, and especially if it's a MacBook Air, so 30 watt, 35 watts, 20 watts is like good enough for the laptop, no problem whatsoever. Okay, so guys, there you have it. That's everything from my side in this week's episode of Gadget 360 with Technical Guruji. Starting from all the gadgets to all the tech tips to all the questions, मैंने सब कुछ cover कर दिया है. Now it's your turn to do the thing. Basically, write emails to tg@ndtv.com if you have any questions, any feedback, any appreciation, any suggestions. I'm here to look at my inbox on a daily basis. तो आप अपने सभी emails कर सकते हैं और इंतजार कर सकते हैं for next week's episode because I've got something exciting next week as well. बहुत मजा आने वाला है. See you all next week. That's it for now. Have a good day and take care.